So I'm here at the THP Tech Studio. I've got Josh rigged up with this camera because I got a problem, buddy. You've got a putter here that I really want to put in play, and I don't really know what's going on with the grip.
I got a little carried away with this one when I was working on some alignment. Wanted to try a few things. As you can see, it didn't go well.
Yeah. Well, I do my own putting gripping at home. I would imagine you do most of yours here in the THP Tech Studio, but there's a lot of people out there who may not pay for it or might want to do it on their own and are a little bit concerned about it. There is an awful lot of accuracy that goes into putting on a putter grip, more so than pretty much anything else. Is that a fear for you?
It was. With this station, you get a little bit better because rather than lining up over a sink or something else like that, you can line it up and check it. It's done a lot with the eyeball, but at the end of the day, the goal is to make the putter straight with the grip on it.
So we have, as you can see, a putter in front of us here. I'm actually really excited about this style of putter. Shout out to J-Man who rocked this summer and rolled it really well. For those who are familiar with the process, and Josh, you're certainly no slouch here, part of this is getting the head set up right. And these subtle changes I'm making at the toe, I'm not clear as to whether they're very obvious in the video, but as you can see, the first thing we want to do here is make sure that our putter head is set up to where it is directly vertical. Now, does that look good to you or no?
That looks pretty dead on, but let's ask this for the person who's regripping at home, who doesn't have this thing set up where they can set it there and do it. How do you do it? Are you use a vise over a sink? What's the best method that you use?
Yeah, so I have something sort of similar to this, not quite as fancy, but I remember a couple of years ago, I was doing it in the sink of my laundry room, hoping for the best, and it seemed to be a bit of a challenge, especially once you've got it on, because you only have a certain amount of time, especially with some grips, to where that solvent starts to run away, and you got to commit real quick. Otherwise, you're down somewhere between $5 and $30, which is a tough thing.
And I know some people use air, but most grip companies advise against that because of the damage that can be done. In our case, we use solvent. My question is, once you have it like this, do you recommend a person, if they don't have this set up, to use a vise maybe?
Yeah, I think the best thing about a vise is you can commit to the condition as it is. I know one thing I did, especially when the putter grip had that sort of flat top, was I would commit to the vise profile, and then once I moved away from that, I would try and line it up with that whole flat part on tabletop and see if the putter hung the way I anticipated. And then obviously you do, not really a smell test, but the waggle test, right? When you put it down, is does this feel right? Does this look right?
Now we're going to switch over to an overhead view. We're going to rip this putter grip off and put a new one on.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we switched to an overhead view. The putter's lined up perfectly, but we removed the tape.
We removed the grip, which I don't know what you're thinking, but it's gone now for good. And we're gonna switch over to a Super Stroke Traxion grip here.
It's the Flatso 3.0.
Flatso 3.0. It is beautiful.
Yeah, and we got a blue putter head here from Mizuno. Figured a blue grip would look good. A little red, white, and blue spirit.
A little Ryder Cup.
Yeah, this is a favorite of a friend of mine, and he wanted to try this putter out, so I figured we'd put it together. You're going to go ahead and throw some tape and some solution on here and slap it on.
Yeah, so we were talking previously to the video. There is a little bit of a hot debate going. One of the things I like to do with the tape is kind of get a decent measurement, not maybe the full length of the grip, but fairly close. And that's my ripping point. And then from there, Josh, what I do is I give it somewhere between 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch of tape on the outside past the shaft, and I like to kind of bury that extra tape inside the grip or inside the shaft.
It's funny that you do this because I always notice as different people grip, they do different things. It's how they tape, how they put the sealant on. I may tape on the top of the shaft and wrap around, and you're underneath.
Okay.
And then for solution, I'm a you cannot use too much solution kind of guy. This system works out pretty well because it all drains down underneath.
So one of the other things I see in the speed grippers, I'm definitely not one of those. I enjoy this. I find this to be
Me too.
very enjoyable. So I take my time. I see a lot of people just slide a piece of tape on, wrap it a little bit, and then shove everything in there. Who knows what happens. I'm a little bit more meticulous than that. I think if there's a ripple in there, even if I don't know it's in there, I'm gonna find it and make big claims and say I have to get a brand new, again, $30-something grip before I actually make a commit to rolling that putter So in this case, I'm all in. I'm at like a 2 to 3 wrap guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is not the video for that. But like I said, I twist at the end and send it in there. Is that what you do?
I do the same.
Okay.
I have a friend of ours who comes over and does a lot of the regripping. He used to be a regripper at a store. He does the twist at the end of the grip and then cuts the little piece off.
Yeah.
To me, I'm asking to lose a finger doing that. So I'm just this exact same way. Post it in there and get going.
Okay, then now there's one other thing that people have a fairly hot debate on. That is solvent in the actual grip before you get the tape wet.
Same way.
I'm big on that. I shake it up, I send it down, and then I slide it in there.
Yes.
Is that pretty much similar to you?
Exactly the same as me. The one caveat is I do solvent in the grip, then I actually put a little bit on top of the tape, and then I drain on there.
Okay.
In our case, obviously, all the solvent will drain through, and we're going to come back as soon as we fill the bottle and make sure you see the rest of it. Okay, now that we didn't start the video with actual grip solution in there, we filled that up, and Dan's going to get going on this.
All right, here we go. Yeah, I like to send a little bit on the tape to let it saturate a bit. Now your solution here, your condition here is a little bit more wide open than mine is at home. That came out quick, but it's not a big deal. I mean, obviously, you mix it up, send it over top like that.
And with a Super Stroke grip, the more solution you can use, the better, because they do go on a little tougher. But man, very popular. Everything else is good. Now this is where it gets crucial. Can you kind of walk people through how do you line everything up?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I do want to clean up around the butt end of the grip there because the solution does come out a little bit. And at this point, I am basically down at eye level trying to match that up and seeing. This is a really good grip for this because it's so flat on top. This is kind of your ideal opportunity to get that matched up perfectly. And I basically just kind of touch all the way through the grip to make sure it's aligned. And then the first thing I do once that's done is I'll actually flip the grip around. And Super Stroke's a good example of this. You get a really nice stitch profile there.
And that's coming through in the video. They should be able to see that well. And you'll be able to see if it's crooked.
Yeah, exactly. And then once we're done there, I'm taking it off. I'll do that lineup test underneath, and then we'll go and make some putts.